Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
I am Sonu Ratra. I am the co-founder of Akraya and founder of Women Back to Work. This is our 23rd year in business, and I'm very proud to say that the company is ranked amongst the top women-owned businesses in the US. It's ranked as, just recently, about 4 weeks ago, we were ranked as #1 best places to work by the San Francisco Business Journal. And that's a very difficult feat to achieve when you're competing with the largest of the largest and the best of the best in the Silicon Valley. We're also ranked consistently as best staffing company to work for, to temp for. Our Women Back to Work program has become a movement. It's about 9 years old, and it's amongst the nation's leading return to work program. I was born and raised in India. I live here in the Silicon Valley with my family, my husband, and my daughter.
Discussion topic: hard mistakes we made as inexperienced entrepreneurs.
Looking back, actually, you do have a long history of entrepreneurship, running your new venture companies. I'm curious, looking back, do you think you have made some mistakes in this whole journey and starting the new venture business? What are some of the mistakes you think you made that could be a good lesson for the audience, the entrepreneurs?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the key mistakes I remember making, and it still hurts every time we think about it, is when you're very early on in your entrepreneurship journey, you don't take legal contracts very seriously. And so, right, I mean, you're young, you're like, you want to get more business, you want to do some more sales, and so we wouldn't take contracts seriously, right? I mean, it's contract on a paper, but that's not the case in this country, right? I mean, contracts are binding. That's what you should be really looking. So that was a very big mistake early on, that we had a contract with a large company. We were not doing things that were on the contract. And so it came back to bite us. And I share this message willingly because it was such a hard lesson to learn. But after that, when it happened, and it happened when we were in the 8th year of business, so we'd already built a considerable amount of business with the company that we lost. So that was not good. But after that, we take our contracts very seriously. We have contract extracts, which is so that everybody on the team, or that team for that customer, should have read the contracts, memorized the contract. We have contracts summaries so that they can quickly see what are the 5 important things. So that's one. Second is a big mistake is hiring. You should always hire slow and fire fast. But in many cases, you hire someone and they aren't performing to their optimal best, but then continuing for 6 months, that becomes a year, that becomes 2 years, that becomes 3 years. So it's really important to know that lesson when and we all make hiring mistakes, especially as an entrepreneur, young, and you're inexperienced, but it's really important to recognize that so that it's good for both parties, that you can part ways. So I think that is a very important lesson, certainly. And today we actually use what we call the predictive index to hire, which means we are able to match people's values, so we have a very, very positive, strong, thought out hiring process, so we don't make mistakes.
That's interesting, because if I'm hear you correctly, say hire slow, fire fast. Is that what you were saying?
So we have to hire slow, so you really care about who you hire, and then if they don't work out, make that decision really quickly. And we actually, but we don't. Now we don't have to part ways with. I mean, we have a very high retention rate. In fact, we're ranked as best places to work for that exact reason, because our retention rates, our employees speak very highly of us, because we've learned it's important to hire the right people. And that, I think, was a really difficult lesson early on.
Thank you for watching.